Hi, this is Monica with the Body Electric Supplement. This, just woke up from, what do I call these things? They're naps, but I like to call them meditation manifestation naps. Um, so I'm still a little kind of, but it's a time for my body to, get into a relaxed state while, thinking and meditating. And yeah, it's the middle of the day ish. Well, I mean, it's at 7 p.m. On this side of the world. Um, because I get up early. But anyway, I wanted to come on to talk about CERN again, but not necessarily about CERN, but what it started and what it seemed to bring to the surface. When a person is doing spiritual work or inner work, let me be more specific, inner work. There's a difference between spiritual work and inner work, in my opinion, sometimes. So, inner work. Now, the topic might be spiritual, but inner work. All right. So, when we have big feelings or emotions, I've learned that that is something that should be addressed. When a person has big feelings that might not always be productive. And if you are on the path of doing inner work, and you happen to be hearing about the things around the CERN experiment, and you started having big feelings about it, that would be a great time to journal and or think it out about, well, why are you having big feelings? And most of the feelings that noticed was fear in a lot of the groups. Sorry, I'm holding my phone. A lot of the emotions I noticed was fear. A lot of the things I saw online was geared to frighten people. As an educator, over the years, I've learned one thing that we do study, and even, today I watched a lecture today about learning and flow states and stuff like that. But in order for a person to learn, you must be in a active, relaxed state. Okay? And I've said this in a video before, and I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it again. When we are in our fear state, like fight, flight, or freeze state, you go into automatic. So this is this is how I teach the kids. So this would be your brain, okay? Looks kind of like a brain, right? All right, my thumb is my little fearful critter inside. And things happen, things like stress, things like you watch the news, things like somebody stepped on my toe, and then now my animal brain is out. He's doing stuff to me, making me react instead of respond. Okay, I can't learn when my animal brain is out. Okay, so adults have the same thing. When we are afraid, we can't learn. We're just going on automatic. Whatever it is somebody says to do that sounds right, that sounds like, oh, it's going to keep me safe, I will do it. And sadly, religion has done that for thousands of years. Okay? Making people feel afraid to do things, make them do things out of fear, so that I don't know, they get a reward later on, but they don't know for sure. But you gotta believe, you gotta keep believing, do the right things, do what we say. you know Now the inner work, aspect of this, and then I'm going to go into the spiritual part of this in a second. But the inner work aspect of this is where I'm hoping a lot of people are thinking about, well, why am I afraid of the world blowing up? Didn't we, I mean, we're still technically in a pandemic, right? If you're following, and I'm just going to say this right now, I follow science, okay? I have a scientific mind, but I'm also spiritual, okay? So if you follow the science and you follow basic hygiene, you should be fine, right? Um, it's up to, I'm not out here trying to tell you what to do, but like I said, basic hygiene, from there. And that's science. But if we're not even, and now I'm going to trickle over into the spiritualness, if we don't know when our last day is. We don't know when our last breath is. If we're not really fully living because we're too afraid, because somebody behind a pulpit told us to do all the right things, are we really living? I never was like that. Luckily, I grew up in a household that, yeah, I had a religion upbringing, but I also had a critical thinking upbringing. And I was allowed to question. It's like, why do they want me to be afraid? Why do they want me to be scared so badly? And then turn around and say, it's love. That's a mixed message. That's the reason I think why we got to this point in the human existence in the first place. Why so many of us are having inner turmoil, because we've been given such mixed messages when we were young and called it love. Okay? And so now there may be lots of people moving away from some forms of organized religion, and they're looking for other things, which is fine and it's wonderful. But then old habits, and this is what I teach as a coach, it's like you got to change your habits too. You might change a lifestyle, but you must also change the habits too. So what I've also been noticing is that a lot of people who are moving into more spiritual realms of being and thinking and believing are looking for people to tell them what to do. And they're instantly drawn to fear as a form of love. Being afraid as a form of love. That's not what true spirituality is. Being like truly spiritual means that your heart is open and you're not going to get out of life alive. We know this, okay? But we also want the best possible life that there can be right now. That's what true spirituality is. And so I wanted to title this video Spiritual Discernment. And I'm, again, being a teacher, I'm big on words too. So I went and started looking for words, looking for the word discernment. And because it's a play on words too with CERN, right? I'm cheesy too, but anyway. There is a thing called spiritual discernment. And it's actually a Christian thing, at least from my initial search. But I feel like it's applicable to all things spiritual. It's like because Because the universe is expansive, I don't see how there's any one possible way to enlightenment. I just don't see how there's one way. And when people try to use fear to manipulate you, and they're trying to say, well, you must say these words, or you must read this book, or you must wear this symbol on your body, or not. It's, I don't know. I think you should question it. Why? Why? That's my personal opinion. Always ask why. Like, there's one, and be open to listening to different people and their method. Okay? Not just what they're saying, but their method too, because there's a few authors, I'll call them. I consider, let's see, I consider Jesus an author, okay? And there are some current authors out there that will easily tell you, don't believe me. Go do the research yourself. Go try it yourself. I like that. I don't need somebody to say, this is the only way. That, I think, I'm sorry, mathematically, statistically, that's impossible. Okay? It's impossible. So if somebody is out there telling you this is the way, repent, you need to question them. What is your true motive? And that to me is spiritual discernment. You can watch my videos all day long. And, I talk about emotional intelligence because that is your body's system of communication. I talk about, like all things spiritual. I like I said, I've studied a lot of different religions, and I think they're interesting to me. I study history too, again, very interesting to me. I'm not afraid of making Jesus cry, okay? Because he knows my heart. This is something I had to grow up with. Like, this is the thing with certain relatives that I had to kind of battle over. It's like, if you don't go to church, you're going to hell. I was like, oh, okay, well, okay. Like, that's the only option, If God loves me, why would he want me to go to hell just because I don't go to church? I don't know. But anyway, don't believe me. Don't believe anybody, really. Take the information in and have critical thought. Okay? Spiritual discernment. I'm wearing my neuron necklace today. That's, things inside your brain. They grow when you get information and you think about them. Oh my goodness. You can't learn when you're in fear. Life is about learning, growing. You can't grow if you're afraid. Okay? You can't grow if you are afraid. And then recently, because I do live in Atlanta, the city, so I'm laughing only because this is an inside joke. It's like, too many people are coming into Atlanta, in Georgia in general. It's like, y'all, it's too many of y'all. But anyway, and I do technically live in Atlanta. So there's a lot of people out there saying that they live in Atlanta, and they don't really live in Atlanta. They live in the outskirts of Atlanta. But anyway, last night, someone blew up the Georgia Guidestones. I think I kind of heard of them once or twice before, only because I have lots of different friends, and I have this one writer, literary publisher friend who today, she posted that she's been there a few times, and from The guide stones appeared, I guess, in 1980. So I'm just giving you some facts on the guide stones. It's like people call them demonic for years, and I'm like, really? Why? Because I guess because they appeared out of nowhere. Maybe, yeah, I mean, it's out in the middle of nowhere, y'all. So it's out in a field, or was in a field in 1980. That was like 40 something. What year is this? 42 years ago. Okay. Development is still kind of, I don't know what the Elbert is, Elbert County, that is. I don't know what the population is there now, but come on. Wasn't a lot of people out there. So um yeah, let me read what it says about the granite slabs. I want to read, they call it the American Stonehenge, and it was, I guess, four tall stone slabs, uh and it was surrounded by, like, there was another slab on top of it, um like a capstone, like a little hat, I guess. And it had, let me see, again, I want to, let me read. I'm going to go ahead and, because it's because it's out in the middle of nowhere, there's no fencing around it. So I think they said it was like part of it blown up around 4 in the morning today. Um, yeah, so granite structures that contained a set of 10 guidelines inscribed in 8 modern languages. Is that the demonic part? If because it's not English, I don't know. English is one of them. English, Spanish, Swahili, Hindi, Hebrew, Arabic, Chinese, and Russian. Okay. On the top of the structure, you will find a shorter message inscribed in 4 ancient languages. Maybe that's the demonic part of it. I don't know. Um, the 4 slabs are erected around a center slab. Okay, I guess there was a slab on the bottom too. An additional stone plaque tells the story of the structure, that they were located at a short distance. I don't know what that means, but I guess somebody found them. This American Stonehenge is 87 meters tall. The channel of the stone, got something good. The channel of the stone tablet indicates a celestial pole. Maybe that's a part of the demonicness that people are talking about. I don't know. The horizontal slot indicates annual travel around the sun, and the sunbeams through the capstone signifies the noontime throughout the year. That sounds like a sundial. That's demonic. Okay, I'm so sorry. A sundial. Um, the lunar declination cycle, the travel of the North Star, the sun solstices, equinoxes are signified on the stone pillars. Um, People used to travel by the stars I mean, that was the technology before there was technology. Okay, this is for the people who don't know. Um, and that's all it really says there. And this is like a travel website for people who want to travel there. I guess you can't travel there anymore. Cause yeah, as of today, yeah, they blew it up this morning around 4, but they got 2 of the pillars. But I guess as the construction crew tried to do some repairs, I guess the others fell. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know. Well, anyway, I mean, my take on it is it. They saw a car, so it did have video surveillance there. So they'll probably find the people who did it, and who knows what their reasons are. Who knows? You know. Um, I just think that a lot of people should develop discernment. that reading and thinking for yourself and understanding that when you manifest, so like I said, I help people manifest their, their goals in life. A lot of people have self-fear, self-doubt. They do self-sabotage. They tinker with their RAS systems like that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. That we're in interesting times in life. I guess we always were, but we're also in a time where information is plentiful and we should be using it. Okay? You can either live in fear or you can read information and decide for yourself. Like I said, I always appreciate those who say, go seek it yourself and not just listen to me or whoever me is saying it, because there's plenty of people who, like I said, they'll stand on a pulpit, stand on a stage with a bullhorn or whatever, and they'll say, I'm the only way, I am the only way. And like I said, statistically, that's impossible. That's impossible. It's not the only way. Okay? And so I hope that your spiritual journeys are fruitful. I hope that you gain knowledge. I hope you gain insight. I hope you tap into joy, love, and awe. That's something I taught the kids this spring. It was so wonderful. As we had like a poetry unit in writing. And these are kids that are 7 and 8 years old. And I taught them about the word awe, A-W-E. It's when you're so happy, so happy. Like children have it naturally. And they love the idea. It is my hope that we all discover and tap into awe and bliss. Even in a world that may not always be kind. That's my hope. Because there is an understanding that I think some of the better spiritual leaders out there understand, is that God does love us. The universe does love us. Loves us enough to find our own way back to the ocean. We are the raindrop and the ocean. I like that saying now. I think I'm going to say it more often. We are the raindrop and we are the ocean. Loves us enough to help us find our own way back. Okay? And with that, this is Monica. Have some discernment out there. Like I said, woke up from my meditation nap. I'll be, doing other things the rest of the evening, reading and stuff like that, All right. Take care. Bye.